Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Hearts of Iron 4, continuing on with my Nova Roma playthrough. So, taking a look down in Africa, I'm realizing that the Purple Army down here is starting to reach the point where it has achieved all of its objectives for its initial offensive push. So I think it's time that we selected the army and gave it a new offensive line. And I would like it to go ahead and take over the Belgian territory if at all possible. Although a push on South Africa would be worthwhile. Just like what I had with my German campaign, more than likely I'm going to encounter a lot of resistance once we start pushing on to South Africa. So I prefer to take out the Belgian territory before we make that push. Of course, the problem with all of that is all this German territory, but I think focus at one thing at a time. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw this out along like that. That's a good order, and we'll just tell them to go ahead and go with that order. And hopefully they'll be able to do it. Now, I did move some troops into position around here. This guy's still moving, so it's going to be a little bit of time before that happens. And then my tank over here is still capturing some German territory in Tunisia. And then we'll move on to the rest of what German territory is in Algeria here. Or Algiers as it's marked here. And then from there, I'm not exactly sure where to go. Because this territory, we do have some German forces in here. But it's a whole lot of nothing for the most part. A lot of open desert. A lot of the provinces are rather large. Now, a tank should be able to traverse this pretty well. But I don't know how well I'll be in supply and things like that. So that is something to consider. But with that all being said, let's go focus on what's going on in Europe. So at the moment, I'm making a push to try and capture Hungarian territory. Now, I am fairly certain here that Hungary probably will capitulate if we grab Budapest. Now, I'm also pushing along up here, and we're about ready to capture this city, but that city's only worth a single victory point, whereas Budapest is worth 20 victory points, and that's probably most of the victory points that they have. So if we capture that, more than likely, Hungary will dissolve. And then Slovakia itself only really has Bratislava, which we're pretty much right on the border of. So it's just a matter of pushing through there. So I've got my tanks here, and they're not currently engaging anywhere. Now, for whatever reason, maybe just how the provinces work. Let's see. Yeah, for whatever reason, there's no connection here. It could be that there's a river that I just can't see. But I can't go down directly into this province here. It could be that there isn't a border to that province. It's kind of hard to make out, even zoomed in like this, with all the stuff that's going on here. But I would like to push here. I don't know if I want to move my tanks just yet. But a lot of the other places I could push right now with my tanks have a lot of divisions moving around in them, so I guess it wouldn't hurt to move my tanks at this point. I just worry about things like this. Out of curiosity, can I move diagonally this way? Not sure. You know, I'm going to move my tanks over there and we'll see. Alright, so how are things going over in the west, over in the French territory? I'm making good gains over here. I did lose territory over here, but it looks like we're forging back. And I don't have any more troops recruited, so I think we're ready to go for the most part. How my Air Force is doing? Well, I just loaded a save file, so we're going to have to let that tick a little bit. Looks like we're doing okay for the most part. Not really encountering much resistance. Alright. At the moment, fighting there. I would like it if this division would get involved. We can push back this tank division. You guys push in there. Alright, that's not gonna quite work. There, that will work. And how are our resources doing? We've got oil and rubber shortages. And I am building refineries. Alright. The question is, if I were to forge across this river, could I take it? They immediately reinforce when I do that. With Bratislava here, it's only being protected by a single division. I want to take that. Oh, actually, it's being protected by 2 because of the tanks, huh? Alright. Well, that's not going to really work, I guess. Alright. Let's push up here. I'll cancel this move and I'll push there instead. Okay, we got some factories here. I'm going to assume because I produced one, because... Oh, never mind. Maybe this stuff got turned over to me, because I thought I remember seeing a lot more blue territory here. Oh, I'm going to pause things. Thought I had. Alright, so what do we need to produce? Well, honestly, there's probably a lot of things on the list. Okay, medium tanks we're good on. So out of everything, it'd probably be more towards like things like artillery and anti-tank. I'm going to go ahead and produce some artillery here. Make sure we're not losing any resources. No. Looks like we're really good on steel, aluminum, and tungsten. We haven't had any issues with that at all, which I'm happy to see. Now, I do have this division here that I did move over here, I remember. And I'm going to go ahead and have them start marching. Matter of fact, I don't see a reason why you can't march into Dijon, and you can march over here. And you can march over here. And you over here. Or just go into Vichy for now. Okay, we're making good gains over here. It looks like the Germans have just evaporated for the most part. At least over here they have. I almost want to reroute tanks over here and start pushing. Alright, speaking of tanks, this guy is done with his orders. So I'm just going to go ahead and have him... No, I'll do that. And then go over here. And then there. And then we'll reorder him. Okay, how about over here now? Oh, you pushed out from the port. Thank you. Make things easier on me. How are things going over in Africa? Pretty darn well. Okay. Once I jump in the port here, maybe they'll attack me and I'll be able to take advantage of that. Alright, how are things going on over in Hungary? So my tank divisions have consolidated. Which I don't necessarily want. So let's go ahead and split these guys in half. I'll send 5 across the river to help defend. And then the other 5, if I can get selected on them. They're there, and then when I go to select them, they're not there. There we go, finally. Let's see if we can push on Budapest here. Not gonna really work, I don't think. How about here? No real success there either, huh? You know, Moab army, I don't know if this order that I have is being processed properly. But I would like some movement here. Okay, got air innovations. Let's take a look at that focus. Alright, so I'm not going to do jet engine, as I feel like we can hold off on that. So I'm going to go ahead and do carry effort, then do probably more of the fleet things here, so carrier effort. Okay, let's take a look over here. So we managed to cut these guys off. They're trying to escape. We don't want them to allow them to do that. I was kind of hoping that they would instead attack. Okay, tanks moving along. These guys are just staying put. Well, there's a German tank, so I'm probably going to have to be a little bit careful there. All right. Alright, let's see if we can get our... Oh, tanks are making good progress here. How many divisions are we fighting? 8 on 7. Alright. Siamese Empire has capitulated, so that's more losses that the Axis have taken. The Soviets are pushing hard into northern Hungary here. And I don't know if they made much ground here, but they've definitely pushed a good distance into German-occupied territory. All right. Wait a second. Here, you can help. Alright, why are you going over there? Sometimes the AI just drives me crazy. Over this way. Alright, well, we're definitely making good ground, because all of this territory here was German occupied, so definitely the Western push on France is really starting to pay off. I honestly think Germany is just absolutely collapsing here. The fact that the Soviets have made this kind of ground, I mean, they started over here, and they're all the way in here, having captured Warsaw, and honestly nearing Berlin. I don't think Germany has much longer that they're going to be lasting. Okay, we've got a group in here I actually want to see defeated. I'm going to pull out and help here. Matter of fact, what are you guys doing? Yeah, whatever you are going to do, that's fine, but we need to murder these guys. Okay, there we go. Now I can reroute. Or maybe go in here instead, because I want to take Budapest. Alright. Taking out some more convoys, I take it. Alright, factories. We've got 3 factories, probably captured stuff. Go ahead with light tank production, because we have losses there. We'll put 1 into fighter production, because fighter production is always good. And I don't know what it is with the anti-air, but we always have more of that to build. So I guess why not? And resources-wise, oil and rubber again. Are we still producing refineries? We are. So not particularly worried about that at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and send this soldier here into Bordeaux, and then we're going to send this guy up to here that we're defending a little bit better. All right. So most of the heavy fighting's happening over here in the east. It'd be nice if you actually help support some of the attacks here. You know, it's starting to get to the point where I want to redraw our border because we have troops over here for no point. Let's see. Grab this guy. Delete. I think this is deletable. Yeah. Get those troops from out of there. And then troops that are over here need to be attached probably to this line. Yeah, supposedly I have 26 divisions. But only however many of them are actually assigned to the line. So, just gonna do that. Get in there already. Jeez. Alright. Okay, assembly line production is finished. We're already working on that. Engineering, we're in 41. Nothing really to do there. Don't have anything for land doctrine. Air doctrine we have, but I just want to make sure I don't have anything else I need to be doing. Tanks we're already working on. Artillery, we have everything that I'd want for 41. Navy, we're good, although there's probably naval doctrines to be done, but we're already working on one. Air Force, I'm good. Alright, so I think it's air doctrine time. Okay. Speaking of air forces, how are we doing here? So, summary, where we've bombed 283 troops. We've only lost 3 fighters and 2 of our support, and 4 enemy bombers have been killed. And the Alpine region, pretty much nothing has happened. And in southern France, we've lost 1 of our bombers, but we've also bombed 50 enemy troops. Alright, well, looks like the Air Force is doing its job. Let's see here. Do we have the ability to create any new air wings? I can make more fighters. Alright, well, if I'm going to do that, find a good airport to base them in. Alright, I guess this will work. And we'll create 2 fighter wings. I think this is older tech here, but that's okay. So we'll do 1, 2, okay. And 1, 2, okay. And then both of you guys are going to come in here and do air superiority missions to protect the bombers. Alright, good stuff. As a matter of fact, it's probably time to transition things from southern France to northern France, because it's just only this little bit here. Although probably most of the enemy troops are over here in southern France, so I guess I'll let it go, but alright. I've been kind of manually commanding troops here, and I think I'm going to continue with that. You are going to go capture this city. How about you actually attack here, rather than sit around not doing anything? AI and your lazy ways. You know, if you didn't strategically redeploy, you would have enough organization to attack. go ahead with this attack. See what you can do if you just take command yourself a little bit there. Alright. And you have done a fine job capturing all that territory. I would like you to now come over here and capture the rest for me. And I'll be very happy when you do that. And then what else we got going over here? The African campaign is continuing very nicely. And over here, we are not having much luck attacking, apparently. Are they in mountains? Oh, they're in desert. They should be out of supplies, so I'm not exactly sure how they're putting up that good of a fight. But I guess they're going to win and be able to attempt to escape. Which is frustrating. Oh, is that a carrier I see? Alright, hopefully we can help out in the air there. Alright, how are things going here? Still making a push here. Soviets continue to push into Germany, it looks like. Starting to have some counteroffensives here. Oh, factories. Still more factories coming in. We're going to have a lot of that as we capture more and more French territory. As well as German territory. It was so surprising how much I was getting my butt kicked over here. And then I'm just like pushing my way through with such speed. Because you have to think, I've only been at war with the Germans for less than 3 months. And the Soviets have only been at war with the Germans for what? 4-ish months? And all the gains that we've made in that short amount of time. And I remember that I was going to do something. I believe it was support equipment was the idea. Because I'm a little bit... Ooh, actually, I have more factories to work with. I'm going to go ahead and increase the naval bomber production, finally. And what else we got? We're going to need mechanized production when it pops out, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to increase fighters. And that's probably going to make it so we need more rubber. Let's see if we can trade for any of that. Well, not really. We could trade for the oil, but... How much rubber do we need? 5. And then we're not going to be able to produce that with what refineries I have being made. That doesn't mean we can't make more refineries, of course. Where do we put it? I'm trying to focus it in territory that I control. I apologize for that little bit of a cut there, but I had some technical issues with my recording where I had to stop it and restart it. But I was about to set up a refinery, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put it down here in southern France. That looks good. And go ahead and queue that up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a couple factories because the rubber demands are only going to go up. So go ahead and continue bring that up in priority. And I'm going to bring this one up a little bit further in priority because I'd like it to be done, obviously, because it was already started. Alright, so what we doing besides that? Fighting, I guess? And at this point, do we move the planes up into northern France, or do we keep them where they are? I guess I'll keep them where they are as long as there's a reason to do so. And I guess I'll have you march this way. That's it. Go ahead and push here as well. Alright, and then we'll have this guy come in this way. Alright, well, we've got decent push going here. In France, go ahead and help out here. Oh, Hungary capitulated. I'm going to take a look at that here in a second. I'm going to assume that it's because I captured the capital. Yes, I did. Well, they capitulated, but there is German forces, obviously. What is with this army and drawing up? Well, I guess that's not their fault. Alright, well, anyway. Get these divisions onto the front here. They're supposed to be on. See if we can make some grounds here on the German troops that should be cut off now. Alright. Split these guys in half. And I'll send half of them there. The other half, I can select them. It's always the trick. I think I got them. Are going to come in here. And then we'll loop up this way. Alright, we've got more factories again. A lot more factories. Because we just captured all that stuff from Hungary. So, go ahead and put another support equipment here. Another light tank. I guess I'll just upgrade one of everything practically. And artillery, and tactical bombers, and anti-air, and anti-tank, and medium tank, and naval bomber. And then, with the leftover, I'm going to start another production line of infantry equipment. And we're going to give that everything we can there. And we're going to go ahead and put that up towards the top because I like priority there. But we're going to put the fighters above that. Okay, now that we've done that, what kind of resources we need? We need rubber and oil. But we already know that rubber is a problem. There's like no one we can trade with that has any. I mean, Brazil has some, but we don't get a very efficient trade out of that. And they're going to be having a hard time actually fulfilling the trade requirements or, you know, what we have set up for them. I think we just trade with a little bit more oil from the Soviet Union. And then, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in the video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.